Okay, so this is the majority of my collection at the moment. This isn't all of my collection. I do have a separate place where I put fragrances that are new in my collection or that I'm sampling at the moment. They will then get filtered into my collection, and I will show you my kind of area where I keep my kind of new fragrances or the fragrances that I am testing. I also have a separate area for fragrances that didn't actually work out for me, and I keep them in a separate place because I like to filter them out to either friends or family, and sometimes I will declutter them if nobody in my friends and family circle want them. So there's a separate section for that. Now, let me see if I can work this camera thing. Nope, I'm going down. I'm using like a gimbal. So those baskets at the top actually have all of my samples in. So I have lots of discovery sets up there or individual samples. I am planning to create a new area where I kind of filter my samples a lot better, maybe do them by brand or alphabet, but I want to have a little bit of a system for my samples because I am continuously sampling fragrances. And also I just want to mention that the lights normally work properly. At the moment, there's a fault. So the shelf on the right, which is this side, the lighting's actually broken, so it doesn't automatically sync with the left side. So I can't have a nice lighting display at the moment. So sorry, it looks a bit weird. I'm probably going to turn it off in a minute. But let me just show you what's in one of the baskets above. Apologies for my outfit and how I look. I'm having a bit of a day off and I'm in kind of my loungewear. Haven't done my hair or makeup or anything. So let me just grab a basket off the top. So here is lots of different discovery sets, etc. So yeah, that's what I do with those. I'm gonna pop it back up here. And then I think we can zoom in and start to look at the collection in a little bit more detail. But yeah, I've got this kind of little storage solution where I can film content in front if I want. My actual setup where I film my YouTube videos is behind me. So it means that when I go to select which fragrances I want to discuss in my videos, it's just right there in front of me, which I find really easy personally. So I guess we're at the time now where I'm going to kind of zoom into my collection in a little bit more detail. I'm not actually going to speak about each fragrance individually because you will probably be here for 2 to 3 hours. And I don't know if any of you have the patience for that. Maybe you do. If you do want to see that in the future, let me know. But I'm just going to kind of give you a brief overview. So without further ado, let's zoom in to the collection. Right, please bear with me here because I'm using like this gimbal thing and I'm not very good at using it. So hopefully this goes well. So we're starting here on the left and we have my beloved Stefan Humbert Lucas collection. You can see it a little bit better from the side. I currently have 10 fragrances from Stefan Humbert Lucas. My favorites would be God of Fire, Mango Kiss, Sand Dance, and my trusty favorite, Venom Incarnate. And I absolutely love Stefan Humbert Lucas. I really do gel with the brand's DNA and identity, and I haven't really smelt anything I dislike from them. Some are challenging and I wouldn't necessarily wear them myself, but I really think most of his fragrances are masterpiece fragrances. Next up, we have my Xerjoff collection. So I currently have 5 fragrances. I have 2 from the Casamarati line here, which is Dama Bianca. I'm gonna knock fragrances over. And then I also have Bouquet Idyll. And if you watch my channel, you would have seen that this is in my top 10 for life. I'm such a fan of Bouquet Idyll. I think it's incredible. And then my 3 favorite Xerjoffs so far, it might change, but we have Apollonia, we have My Baby, Starlight. You all know how much I love this one. And then we have La Capitale. And La Capitale is a little bit similar to Venom Incarnate, but I would say it's just a tad bit lighter. I'm sure many of you know that one already. Moving on to my Micallef collection. There's actually one missing. Where is it? Oh, it's on the floor. It's on the floor. So I do have another one. but these are the other ones. So I have Note Vanille Nectar, I have Ylang in Gold, we have the OG Note Vanille, Eden Falls, Red Colorado, oh, let's get out of focus a little bit, and then we've got Delice and Soleil Passion at the back. Sorry, I can't go into full detail of some of these. We will be here forever. Next up, I have my 6 fragrances from Initio. I'd have to say my favorites are the first 3. So Rehab, Paragon, and Musk Therapy. I'm obsessed with this collection. It just feels very me and I reach for them the most. And then at the back, we have Absolute Aphrodisiac, another trusty favorite. We have Oud for Greatness. And then we have Atomic Rose right at the back. Sorry, this is really hard to do with one hand. I don't know how everyone does their collection videos. Next up, we have my Parfums de Marly collection. And I currently have 7 from the female collection. Now, I just want to say, these are not all loves, but the ones I have, well, there's about 4 here that I really love. The other ones are really likes. And I don't know if any of you are like this, but I'm a collector who likes collecting collections. And I just felt like I needed to complete this collection. It's still not complete. The ones I do really love are Oriana. I like Valia, but it's not a love at this stage. I love Delina La Rose. I absolutely love the original Delina, but I know this is going to be a bit controversial. Delina Exclusive is not my favorite. It's not my favorite at all, and I've been thinking about decluttering it out of my collection because it's just my least favorite out of the 3 Delinas. I find the Oud doesn't pull very well on my skin, and that's okay. Like, we all like different fragrances, right? Cassili is a big like, and Meliora at the back is also a strong like, but they're not loves. So I'm trying to downsize my collection. Whether or not I actually will is another thing, but let me know if you're the same. Do you just collect things to complete a collection, or do you absolutely love everything that you own? So next up, we have the BDKs in my collection. I don't know why there's such a big gap here between that and that. So, okay, Vanille Leather is one of my most recent purchases, and I purchased this on eBay because I found a really good deal on it. But I have to say, it's not a full-blown love at this stage. I might declutter it out of my collection. I need some more time to play with it. My husband's actually wearing this one today, and he was like, oh, I thought you'd really like this. And I couldn't actually guess which one it was. And it just pulled quite violet iris on his skin. I didn't get any sweetness from the vanilla. It's subtle on the suede, but anyway, I'm not huge on it at the moment. Creme de Coeur, I really, really love. I think this is very classy, soft suede kind of vanilla. Velvet Tonka, incredible, but I can only really wear that one in the cold, cold weather. Rouge Smokin', love. Gris Chanel, love. Gris Chanel Extrait, love. And then we've got Pas Ce Soir at the back. I have Pas Ce Soir Extrait on the way, by the way, which I'm really, really excited about. So I've not actually smelt it yet. We'll see if I love it. But yeah, I'm excited about that one because I love the original. Here we have my Atelier des Sources collection. So I currently have 6 here. I actually love all of these, some more than others. My favorites would be Lune Feline, which is of course at the front. I like Rouge, well, I love Rouge Soleil, but not as much as Lune Feline. Rose Omiad is the most gorgeous, gorgeous rose oud fragrance. Love Pink Me Up. Riviera Lazuli is a strong like / love, but I don't reach for it much. And then we have Nuda Veritas at the back. Sorry, my filming is absolutely awful. You're probably thinking, what am I watching here? So let me just put these back. I must say, these bottles wobble quite a lot on my stand and it scares me, Okay, so next up is my Fragrance Dubois collection. And you can see here that I currently have 5 fragrances. So I have the new Lovers fragrance. I have spoken about it on my channel. This one was kindly gifted to me from the brand. I went to their launch event in London, and it was actually a beautiful, beautiful experience. One of the best events I've ever been to. So super, super grateful for that. And I also was gifted this one here, which is AM, which is the collaboration between Fragrance Du Bois and producer Michael, which was another event I was invited to actually. So honored and privileged to be able to attend these kind of events. None of this is possible without you. So I just want to say that it's all possible because of you, because I wouldn't be invited to these things without you and your support. So I just want to say a massive, massive thank you. Next up, we have Santel Complete, which was my first Fragrance Du Bois baby. And then we have Minuit et Demi, which I would say is my favorite Fragrance Du Bois, closely tied with Eau Jaune Intense, which is really, really new to my collection. You will see me talking about this in a recent video. Another fragrance that was kindly gifted to me. This one was gifted to me from Twisted Lily actually, because I mentioned it in a different video as being on my wish list. So grateful for this. Honestly, like, it feels so weird to say these Fragrance Du Bois are gifted. I do get gifted other fragrances too. I just want to caveat that. But yeah, none of this would be possible without you. Next up, we have my Galans, my private line Galans. I have Angelique Noir, which is an incredible fragrance, truly. I have Spirituise Double Vanille, one of my favorite fragrances in my collection. And then I also have Oud Nude, which I've spoken about recently. I realized that I hadn't actually spoken about it on my YouTube channel, and I was like, oh, we need to change that. Next up, we have my Ex Nihilo collection. First up is Fleur Narcotique. This is a brand new bottle. I did have a 50 ml before. It was my wedding day fragrance, if you didn't already know that. And I'm so happy that I now have a 100 ml bottle. So yeah, been through the 50 ml, now I've got the 100. I also have Honor Delights here, and I have a Harrods exclusive Golden Wanderers, which I definitely haven't spoken about on my channel yet. It's definitely more of an autumn winter fragrance. I think it's actually Harrods exclusive, so I will talk about it soon. James wore this one the other day and it blew me away, to be honest. Then we have my commodity collection. I have 2 from the Archive collection. The first one is Rain. I absolutely love Rain. It's such a fresh everyday scent. And then we have Magnolia here, another beautiful everyday kind of creamy floral. Then we have Gold, which is from their normal collection. I have this in the personal scent. I did actually have it in the strongest strength, but I ended up gifting it to a friend just because I preferred the personal version. And then I have Trusty Milk at the back, which used to be one of my favorite ever fragrances. I still love it. I still highly rate it, but I haven't been reaching for it because for me, it is more of an autumn or winter fragrance. I have 4 fragrances here from Viva More, which is a brand that's owned by Navitus. And I actually love Viva More fragrances. They deserve a lot more love than they get. I've started to talk about them. I will talk about them in more videos to come. My favorite at the moment is Reserve Exclusive. This one was actually made by Francis Kirk de Jean, and it's got this beautiful kind of candied ginger vibe to it. It's, I think it has a gingerbread note. Then we have Ultimate Aphrodisiac, which is the most gorgeous kind of tonka bean and almond scent. Super delicious, going to be amazing for the cooler weather. Creme Equise, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. My husband actually wore this one the other day too, and that smelled incredible on him. And then at the back, Cherry Prive, which is a cherry fragrance that I really, really love. So let me just pop those back. I think there is a bug at the back. You probably can't see it, it's not focusing. Then we're gonna get down to my Roja fragrances. So firstly, can I open this with one hand? This is my PDLN 3, which for me is a collector's item.
My husband actually bought me this one for Christmas, or as a Christmas present. Super, super special to me. I don't wear it often at all. Yeah, it's more of a collector's item, so I keep that one in its box. So that one's there. And then we have my other Roger babies here. You can see me in the reflection there. Hi. So Enigma Oud. Oh, this is so, so good, and it's absolutely worth the price in my opinion. Then we have Amber Oud, an absolute classic from Roger. This is so special, and another one that I think is truly, truly worth the price from Roger. Then we have Newer. This smells like royalty. This is a rich goddess. So hard to explain. Another one that smells like royalty. Yeah, absolutely incredible. I'm sure many of you know about Sweetie Oud. And then I have Elixir, the essence version at the back. That one's such a gorgeous fragrance. I actually lent that to my best friend for her wedding day. So let me just pop these back. I have to pop things back. It will drive me crazy if not. Sorry, my gimbal's now doing its own thing and moving around. Next up, we have my Alexandra J collection. So I have here Oriental Enigma Extract. Oh, why are you moving? I think it's tracking something. And then we have Oriental Enigma EDP, Imperial Peacock EDP, and then at the back here we have, oh, my camera's doing something weird. We have Parfums de Mali Carlisle, which was actually my husband's wedding day scent. This is so incredible, so, so incredible. I'm gonna see if I can sort this camera out quickly, otherwise it's going to be doing really weird things. Okay, next up, this is a very new fragrance to my collection. It was in my wish list video and I went ahead and purchased it. I found a really, really good deal, and it is Clive Christian Blonde Amber. Can't wait to speak about that one on my channel in the future. Then we have 8 and Bob Agnetta. We have Kahil Tea, Kryptonite. And then we have a discontinued gem at the back, which is by, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. Do I want to try and pronounce that? Mengildo Zenga Indian Spice. Truly good. Truly, truly special. Okay. Next up, we have another favorite of mine, One Umbrella for Two. Such a fangirl of this fragrance. I adore it. Absolutely adore it. And then we have I Am Coming Home, which is more of a freshy. This one is such a beautiful fragrance too. I love the House of Florieku. I have 2 fragrances here from Goldfield and Banks. We've got Sunset Hour, and then we also have Silky Woods at the back. I did have Bohemian Lime, but I chose to declutter it out of my collection because I wasn't reaching for it, and I have other fragrances that are similar. Okay, next up, we have Parisian Musk and Radical Rose from Matière Première. Again, love both of these fragrances. They are definitely newer to my collection. I have had the full discovery kit from Matière Première, and I've wanted to add these both in, so super happy to have them. And then we've got 2 from Giardini Toscana. We've got Bianco Latte and Bora Bora here. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, this one is sad at the back, but it's definitely one of my favorite fragrances. We have Soy Malakis by Dries Van Noten. Truly spectacular fragrance. I don't know how people film these videos. I am making a real mess here. Next up, we have 3 fragrances from Memo Paris. We have Madurai, we have Sintra, and we have Winter Palace. I love all 3 of these. Absolutely brilliant fragrances. My gimbal's got a mind of its own again. It's doing all these weird things. Next, we have my full Une Nuit Nomade collection. There is 8 here. If you want to see a house overview on Une Nuit Nomade, there is one on my channel. My favourites from Une Nuit Nomade are Sugar Leather and Jardins de Mitzvah, which is just here. So let's move on to the next part of my collection. So we have my current Soradora collection. I currently have 5 from the house. I'd say my favourite 5 are at the front, and then my husband's favourite 2 are at the back. So I absolutely love Mandorle. I love Orchidee Rouge, and I love Brasiliende, don't know how to pronounce it. James really, really loves Vanuatu. And interestingly, lots of men that come over here really love Vanuatu. My stepbrother came over, he liked this one, and my friend's boyfriend absolutely loves Vanuatu too. So I currently only have 4 fragrances from Kilian. We have Roses on Ice, we have Angel Share, and then I don't need a prince by my side to be a princess. And then one of my favorites, which I need to talk about more, is Back to Black by Kilian. One of the most gorgeous gourmand honey fragrances. I think this one's truly, truly special. Next up, we have my Nishane collection. And as you can see, I've currently got 9 in my collection. I have decluttered a couple of Nishanes out of my collection just because I wasn't reaching for them. So I've got the 2 from the X collection in the front, which is Annie X and 100 Silent Ways X. I also have 100 Silent Ways, the original here, and I have the original Annie too. I thought about decluttering one or the other out of my collection, but I love the originals too, so I just can't part with them. I have Temp Fleur here, I have Zen, Tarot, Wulong Cha, and Fan Your Flames. I was thinking about decluttering Fan Your Flames because I don't reach for it, but I do think it's a great autumn winter scent, so I'm not quite sure yet if I want to or not, so we will see. Next up, we have my Chiale collection. Let me try and move the camera. So I have 10 fragrances from Chiale, and pretty much most of these are all loves. I'll tell you the only 2 that aren't full-blown loves. So, not that one. So Musk isn't a full-blown love. And also Yum Pistachio Gelato isn't a full-blown love. I really, really like this one. I think it's actually a great gourmand fragrance, but I can't wear it too often. I have to be in a certain mood. The ones that I absolutely love are Utopia Cocoa, Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper, The Wedding, Velvet Santel, and Vanilla 28. Like, you can't go wrong with those. Moving on to my Wilhelm collection, I have Dear Polly, which is a big love for me. I have Mango Skin, Fleur Burlesque, and Poets of Berlin. And then finally, my Mise en Serre collection. I absolutely love all 4 of these. So I have Très Cher, Poudre d'Or, not white praline, sweet praline, and Musk Eternal. So that was that shelf. Moving on to the bottle shelf. My gimbal was not having a good time, so I'm sorry about that. So let's get down a little bit lower so I can relax. So first up, I have 3 fragrances from Memoirs of a Perfume Collector, and I am obsessed with this house. It's a fellow content creator that's one of the co-founders, and one of the newest ones is Trouble in Paradise. This is a spectacular, spectacular fragrance. And then we have Meet Me Where the Sky Touches the Sea and Musk Mantra. I have 2 gritty fragrances at the back. We have Gossip Night and Syracusa. We have my Javoy fragrances here. So I think that's Fire at Will. Yeah, Fire at Will, Remember Me, and Musk Palace. Oh, sorry, it wasn't even watching what I was doing there. But yeah, Fire at Will, Remember Me, and Musk Palace. And then Cardamom Moss by EPC at the back. Oof, absolutely love this one. It's to die for. I have 2 Ducita fragrances plus 2 random screws. Sorry about that. So Moonlight in Chiang Mai and Le Douce de Siam from Ducita. 2 fragrances from Soma. This is another brand that I want to highlight because it's a creator-owned brand. The quality is insane. Halcyon is incredible. I spoke about it in a recent video. This is Angel Share, but less cloying, less sweet, and a little bit more complex. I don't want to say it's not a dupe for Angel Share. I just want to give you a reference point. But yeah, really incredible fragrance. And then we have Fiorum at the back. I have 3 fragrances from Atelier Materi. There's Cacao Porcelana, Narcisse Tigi, and then Cure Nilam at the back. Moving on to my Cana Barcelona fragrances. Tardez is a trusty favorite. I also have Marbella and I have Supermoon at the back. I have 3 fragrances here from Thio Cabanel. There's Et Voilà, Je ne sais quoi, and Café Cabanel at the back. Moving on to Creed, I have Virgin Island Water and Spring Flower. I have been thinking about decluttering this one from my collection. I think it's a really nice fragrance, but it's not a love. It's maybe quite a mature floral. I don't know. We will see what happens with that. And then I have Acro Awake, one of the best coffee fragrances out there. And I also have Acro Bake. Delicious. Next up, we have Tamine's Peregrina. Oof, I love this fragrance. Mason Crivelli Hibiscus Mahjad. We have Ella K, Camilla K, beautiful fragrance. And then we have Letta de Pushka by Ella K too. And then Diez and Durga Pistachio. Absolutely love this fragrance. It's a dark, mysterious pistachio. It's not too pistachio, I said that really funny. It's not super gourmand. To me, it smells like a mint choc ice cream or dark chocolate. 3 fragrances from Juliette Has a Gun. We've got Lust for Sun, we've got Vanilla Vibes, and then we've got Next section. Sorry, I'm just like crawling on the floor as I'm doing this. So next section, we have 2 fragrances from Byron. One here, which is Green Butterfly. Absolutely love this one. It is limited edition, I will say that. I think they only had 300 bottles left, but I think it's incredible. And then also the Chronic, and I have Chronic Rouge Extreme. One of the best gourmand fragrances, very fruity, absolutely love it. 3 fragrances from Juice at the back. I have Gingerlies, Spicy Delice, and Andalusia. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. Then we have my La Perla collection here. You can see the reflection in the cap. But I have Possibilities, absolutely obsessed with this one. Let the Dance Begin, About That Night. This one is a strong like, but not a love. And then Invisible Touch, which is the most gorgeous, kind of clean, powdery, fresh scent. Pop those back. Sorry if I'm speeding through this. 2 from Byredo. I have here Bow de Freak, which I love, highly recommend to anyone who likes a freshie. Mojave Ghost, Le Labo's Another 13, and Blanche Bette. I'm sure many of you know Blanche Bette. Moving on to my Francis Coq de Jean collection. I have quite a small Francis Coq de Jean collection. I'm not a huge fan of some of the other fragrances like Oud Satin Mood, but I do have Gentle Fluidity Gold, Grand Soir, and the 2 different Baccarat Rouge fragrances. So my personal favorite is the Extrait. I think this one is much nicer than the original. I am actually a huge Baccarat Rouge fan. I try not to talk about it on my channel because I know so many people are kind of over it. So yeah, I try not to talk about it too much. Then I have 3 fragrances from L'Orchestre Parfum here. And then 2 fragrances from a new brand, which is called Brand T. Clear's their newest one. Highly recommend checking them out. So let me move a little bit so you can see the next ones better. Next up, we have Amouage Sunshine. Oh, I'm obsessed with this, and a few people who have come around and sampled this one are obsessed with it too. I'm hoping this isn't shaky as I'm doing this. And then I have only 2 fragrances from Navitus actually. I have Chocolate Queen, which is the collaboration between Navitus and Gabby. I'm sure many of you know that. Of course, I have to have this in my collection because I love Gabby and it's a great chocolate fragrance. I have Sartorial Nuit here by Navitus. And then I also have Dolce Melodia by Sospiro. Then I have 3 fragrances from room 1015. Cherry Punk, which got a lot of hype last year and this year actually. One of the best cherry fragrances on the market in my opinion. Highly recommend this one. Sonic Flower, that's a beautiful everyday kind of iris powdery clean floral scent. And then we've got 1015, 2 fragrances from Floral Street, Wonderland Peony, and the newest one, which I can't remember what it's called. Let me have a look quickly. I wasn't super impressed with it, I must say. Sweet Almond Blossom. I probably will declutter this at some point. I have 2 fragrances here from the House of Oud. I actually have a 3rd fragrance, but it's just not on this shelf. It's down in a to film pile. And this one is Never Ending. Then we have What About Pop. Here we have Deep and Desire Yacht. And then my favorite Electimus fragrance, Mercurial Cashmere. Delicious, love it. 4 fragrances from Tom Ford, Ombre Leather, Noir, Velvet Orchid, and Black Orchid. Right, now we're onto the bottom shelf, and I'm hoping I'm not going to be shaky because I've turned my gimbal off because it was annoying me. And my hands are a little bit shaky because I've been holding that gimbal for the rest of the video. Anyway, we have a fragrance here from Benina, which is called Worthiness. A very royal, elegant fragrance. I featured it once before. We have 2 fragrances here from a house called Tokyo Milk. This house is really hard to find now, but I absolutely love Tainted Love. And this one here called Arsenic. So my husband used to wear this when we first met and I was obsessed with it. This was like a get in the neck, absolutely head over heels for scent for me. So hard to find. This fragrance James actually picked up when we were last in Tokyo. It's a very fresh kind of Japanese-esque fragrance and he loves it. These are James's fragrances. So we've got 3 from Issey Miyake there. I love the first one, the amber version. We have 2 fragrances from Theodorus Calatinis. We have here Coffee Addict and Lemon Tart, both incredible. One of Zara's newest releases. There's an Atkinson's fragrance, Fahrenheit. We've got Penhaligon's at the back. This fragrance is incredible. So this is a new discovery or a new brand to me. So this is Spring in Baume, and I've spoken about this once on my channel. But yeah, really creative and unusual fragrances. My hands are so shaky now. There's Wind, La 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 Rose at the back. I think this is such a beautiful kind of powdery Turkish delight scent. Really, really feminine. Very kind of rosy, powdery, sugary. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. We have a mini replica by the fireplace. We have a Jeroboam Insulo. Okay, here's the next section. So you can see I have some Sol de Janeiro body mists. Buon Talenti by Perfume di Firenze here. Absolutely love this one. This is a new gourmand fragrance that I'm obsessed with. The creative director of Lush, he kind of designs all of the scents for Lush. This is his brand. This is one of the best lemon gourmand fragrances that I've ever smelt in my whole life. Next, we have Nuit et Confidences by Goutal, Lolita Lempicka. This one's really, really sentimental to me. Some other little random bits. I also have some fragrances in another room actually, which I will try to show you in this video. Here I have a lot of kind of designer fragrances. There are some niche ones too. I'm not going to speak about them all in detail, but a couple to mention. Like a Virgin by Art Meets Art is a really, really gorgeous feminine floral fragrance. Neroli Blanc, you've probably heard me speak about this quite a lot. It's one of the best orange blossom fragrances on the market in my opinion. I absolutely adore Matcha Meditation by Replica. I absolutely adore Pure Musk by Narciso Rodriguez. I've got YSL Libre Le Parfum, which is another trusty favorite. The new Nomad Jasmine Absolute. This is incredible, or Jasmine Intense, I think it's called. I featured this in my 5 designer fragrances that you need. I also have, this one, I can't wait to wear it in autumn winter. Magenta Tanzanite by Armani Privé. That can go back there. This is kind of my little pink section. Armani C, I've got Marc Jacobs Daisy, Mon Galant, Jimmy Choo Rose Passion, Almond Jane Sakura down the bottom here. I've got some Tiziana Terenzi fragrances, Deriva's there, Baria's there. I've got some other ones over the other side of the room. But yeah, my bottom shelf, unfortunately, is a little bit of a mismatch. But yeah, that is my collection. Okay, so next I want to show you one of the places that I keep new in fragrances in my collection. This is because I'm currently either sampling these fragrances, waiting to review them on YouTube, or just not ready to put them back yet. So just looking at these from the camera actually, none of these I've spoken about yet on YouTube. So these will stay here until I fully kind of trialed them and then spoke about them. I don't have to speak about them all, but I like to just keep the ones that I haven't mentioned yet here, so then I can decide what I do, because I'm pretty sure you already know this, but I have definitely not reviewed all of these fragrances. Oh, my lights are going crazy over there. You know, I said about my lights playing up. Well, they're currently having a bit of a moment and doing their own little thing. So yeah, James is going to try and fix this for me at the weekend. Kind of looks cool, but it's annoying that they don't match. Back to my little tray. So yeah, you will probably see some of these featured soon. I have been playing around with these fragrances the last couple of days from Argos, and oh my gosh, why did I sleep on this brand for so long? I don't know what it was. I think if anyone lives in the UK, we've got a store called Argos, and it's kind of, I don't know how to explain it. I don't want to say it's cheap, but it's just a brand that I wouldn't associate with luxury. And because these fragrances are luxury, it kind of put me off trying them for a while. But wow, I have been loving these fragrances thus far. I have one of the new crazy collection here. So Wabi Sabi from the House of Oud. I really love Wabi Sabi. I did try this in Milan earlier in the year. Can't wait to talk about this one in more detail. I'm going to keep these ones in here for now because they haven't launched yet, so I don't want to talk about them because I don't know when the actual launch is. I've got Flower Bomb. So this one was actually sent to me, and I was over the moon to be asked if I wanted to receive Flower Bomb in PR because I haven't tried this for the longest time, so that was exciting. Another favorite from Oja. I have not spoken about this one yet, but Hawa Kiss. Oh, wow. And then, yeah, there's some Tiziana Terenzi, there's some Wilgerman, we've got Chavoy, we've got Jerembone, we've got Suki London, Granado. And yeah, there's my scent split samples that I need to go through. I also have some more fragrances just scattered around the house that I'm trying. I have my other cupboard where I've got kind of old fragrances that I'm still holding on to but maybe should declutter. I've got my little declutter cupboard, but I think this is a good place to kind of start to show you my collection and kind of where it's currently at. And then, as I mentioned, I have samples in all of these. So yeah, let's just grab another one down, see what we find. Okay, so I've got a fragrance discovery set here. Haven't actually been through that. This one's not even been opened, so I've not been through that yet. That's from Atkinson's. Himajomo Discovery Kit. Can't wait to actually go through that one. And some random samples. So that is that one. Let me grab another random one down. We'll go with the big one. Oof, heavy. Trying to do this with one hand. So we have here a Stefan Humbert Lucas bag. Lots of Stefan Humbert Lucas samples in here. This is like sample heaven. For some reason I have a Florieku box here. I normally keep my boxes downstairs, so you can see I really need to go through all of this. I got a Decita discovery set and then some random things. So the Charnay Time Capsule Collection, some random samples here from Oja, Atelier de Source, Ella K, Violet. Yeah, so that's basically what all of these look like. I'll probably make a separate video going through all of my like samples because I think that will be really fun. but it is really hard to actually get to go through all of the different baskets up here because there's so much I need to sample. But then of course I'm trying to sample this stuff down here, and there's only so many days that I have in the week where I can actually go through these fragrances properly. So yeah, that was my fragrance collection. I hope you enjoyed seeing this. Please let me know what you think. Yes, I know I should keep this in a dark room. This room, the blinds are normally always closed, and then I just like have the lights on. But yeah, it's really messy in the rest of this room, so I'm not going to give you a room tour. But that was my full collection.